Hey there. So still working through 100 Days of Code. This is day 3. And I'm picking back up with rearranging arrays. Started on this yesterday. I think I did the naive approach here. Should slow down, I guess. Yeah, did the naive approach yesterday. Did the next approach, I think I called it check and replace. And then using a hash set today. Yeah, so I think I'll start out reviewing and redoing the naive and check and replace. And we can move on to the hash set from there. See if I can't clean this up a bit. Okay. That's fine. So let me do this. Given an array of elements with length n, ranging from 0 to n minus 1. Okay, makes sense. All elements may not be present in the array. Okay. If the element is not present, there will be a minus 1 present in the array. Okay, makes sense. Rearrange the array such that A at I equals I. If I is not present, display minus 1 in that place. Okay, cool. I've already got tests set up for this using this data. Okay, naive approach. Yeah, these instructions didn't really make sense to me yesterday. I ended up just looking at the code and see if I can do it without looking at their code today. Navigate the numbers 0 to n minus 1. Navigate through the array. Iterate to the array and check if. Alright, so that's just the double check at the end. So this is the outside while loop. That's going for the numbers. Then navigate through the array. Oh, right. I remember. For each number from 0 to n minus 1, navigate through the array. That's what this one's doing. Okay. So with that, I'll do it with a for n loop, at least for the outside one. Just change it up. Array dot length. So I've got my length helper. So if I do for I in zero to length minus 1. Okay, so that should give me the outer. I wonder if I can do this again. I think I can. So for j in literally the same thing, right? 0 to length minus 1. I wonder if, let's do this. Range equals range. I'm not sure that the parentheses will work here. I might have to make it an array. Yeah, let me just go ahead and do that. Okay, so now I've got my double loops. I still need a temp variable. 0 for now. Maybe it's better to make that minus 1, just for clarity. Since minus 1 is the representation of nothing. Okay. So now it's the same. Check if array j equals I. So I being the index. I want to make temp equal to array I, and then array. So this is the swap. Array j equals right, the swap. We're gonna set temp to array I and then set array I to array j, and then we can set array j equal to temp. Break out of that. And with the for in loops, I don't think I have to reset j. I don't have to increment j or I. Which is great. Then I can just do another for x in range. Array x equals minus 1 if array x let's use unless. Array x equals x. And then I want to return the array. Sweet. I think that does it. Let's run some tests. Ruby test array rearrangement test. Ooh. Okay. I flew through that without actually paying attention. So let's see where I messed it up. Oh, it's probably this. Oh, still printing that out. Don't do that. Any prints over here? Nope. Let's see what the arrays look like. Yeah, because it might be getting weird in here. Okay, so okay, let's print out I. Let's print out J. It's gonna be a lot, sure. That doesn't seem right. Is it 3 dots in an array? Nope. Okay. Ruby array range. Okay. Huh. So, the problem is here. This is a range, but I can make it an array. Or do I even need to? I might just be able to use it as a range. Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. Sweet. Today I learned ranges in Ruby can be assigned to variables. Dang. That's way cleaner than yesterday's. Well, fewer lines, does the same thing. Less variables set. More reuse. Cool. Okay. Next is check and replace. Let's see. All right, this gets weird. Navigate through the array. If the index is -1, don't do anything. And if the index is not -1, check if it's in the correct position. If it is, don't do anything. If both of those fail, then place it in its correct position. But we gotta swap. And this is where I got confused with this yesterday, is the swap. So if it's a -1, -1, then it doesn't matter. You can just put it there, swap it, keep moving forward. If it's not, means you gotta swap it and then go back here again and redo all this. And I copy coded that pretty hard yesterday, so let's see if I can do it just looking at my code. Okay, do my link helper. I'm going to try to do this with the for n as well, instead of each with index. The range equals 0 dot length -1. So for I in range, I wonder if this next bit will work. I'm just going to assume it will. Next, if item equals -1, okay, makes sense. But there's no item, so this will be array I, or array I equals I. Yep. Okay, then I need to actually make my temp variable up here. Array I, make this temp, make this temp, should probably actually assign that. This is where things get weird. Alright, so I'll just use the same while loop. So while array temp not equal -1, and array temp not equal no, temp. Okay, so temp is whatever is at array, let's say array 0, so it can be -1, goes -1 when we get here. Right. But it's while it's not equal -1. Ooh, so let's say array 0 was like 1. So it would fall into here. And then it would set another temp variable. Temp2 to so this is more understanding. So this is array index 0, and let's say that's a 1. Right? 1. So it falls through here, and then we're setting temp2 to array at temp. And just for instance, let's say that is 2. Okay. And then array temp. So it's array 1 is now equal to 1. All right, makes sense. And then we want to set temp equal to temp 2. And temp 2 to array 1, what used to be, the temp 2 is now the number 2. So we've just got a floating temporary variable. Doesn't actually reassign it to, okay, all right, and then it checks array at because if it's -1, it's just gonna move back through here. Got it. So if it was -1, it would just not do anything with it and move on. Okay. All right. All right. And that's why we do this. Array temp equals temp. Because it doesn't do anything with it in here. Okay? Makes sense. And within this big for loop, we double check. Equals -1 if array I not equal I. Okay. That makes sense, I believe. Let's run those tests. Fail. Why'd I fail? Didn't return anything. That's better. Nice. Oh, hey there, stranger in the night. Thanks for the follow. That's awesome. It's going pretty well. Just doing some array manipulation stuff with Ruby. How's it going for you? Sweet, sweet. Glad to hear it. Yeah, just to give you some background on what I'm doing, ran upon this Geeks for Geeks article for 100 Days of Code, and they kind of outlined some cool stuff on data structures and algorithms, system design, some of the stuff I was looking at learning. And I've been poking through arrays the past few days. Oh, nice. Nice. What, I think now I've been coding for almost 5 years. And I code for work as well, so I do this professionally. Yeah, yeah. What are you wanting to learn to do? Code-wise, that is. Yeah, yeah, it is. There's about a billion different things you can do with code. Nice. It's definitely not as hard as it seems, the coding bit. I came from a very different career and swapped over into web development specifically, and then I'm slowly transitioning into more software app development. And it wasn't too bad. I had a lot of help along the way, which is cool. Yeah, started with WordPress mostly, so a little bit of PHP thrown in there, and then started using React a couple years in, and I've gotten a couple of jobs based off my React experience. And the current job I have, we use Ruby and Rails a lot, so and I like it. That's why I'm doing this 100 days of code with Ruby. Yeah, Ruby's fun. Um, kind of its catchphrase is it was made for developer happiness. And I think at the time it was when a lot of people had some beef with Java. So it's object oriented like Java is, but a lot easier to understand and write. And at this point, pretty much anytime you see Ruby, it's going to be using Ruby on Rails. Store all the numbers present in the array into a hash set. Iterate through the length of the array, corresponding position element is present in the hash set. Alright, I think I understand how this is working. This is my original thought on how to do this. Okay. Hash set. ahead and make a test for that. I think that most people think they can just memorize code and become a coder. My take is it's more about having the code and knowing how to use it. I agree that it's not just about memorizing it. A lot of it is definitely knowing how to use it. And if you don't have it memorized, knowing where to look for it. And that's where like Google or API docs or anything like that come into play. Okay. Oh, I need to take in an array. And make it hash. Yeah. Knowing the syntax helps a lot. I've messed around with a couple different programming languages recently that are all very different. JavaScript, Ruby, and Rust. And it's really awkward changing the syntax around and remembering which one does which syntax. Do I know? I know well, just probably Ruby at this point and JavaScript. I've messed around with PHP, Rust, some other stuff. No, definitely not. Definitely not. I know enough HTML and CSS to get by and be mostly web accessible, but I use a lot of tools and coworkers and friends to help make sure that all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed on that end. Let's just be a little bit more explicit. Nice. That's always helpful. Yeah, it definitely helps to be organized. There's what seems to be an infinite amount of things to learn with coding. So as long as you can stay organized and yeah, that too. There's a lot of places to organize it. Organize projects, thoughts. Uh, I've gotten overwhelmed on that front and just taken to keeping things in simple markdown notes effectively. I tried using this program called Notion, and it's okay. It's not exactly what I'm looking for. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I too tried that, writing everything by hand, and at this point, I like doing it when I'm reading a paper book, writing stuff by hand, taking notes by hand. Or if something's really complex, actually sketching it out helps a lot. But past that, I'll just type notes out. Yeah, printers are just awkward for that very reason. Printer is expensive, then they stop making it. Nice. What did I say? Programmers try and memorize what they learn? That's hard. The big part about it is problem solving. Syntax is helpful. Learning like the APIs of a language is helpful, but it's not the biggest thing. The first thing starting out. No, it's cool. It's cool. I don't mind. Yeah, feel free to ask questions. It's good. It's good. Makes me think. Yeah, I'd say definitely like practice problem solving and figuring out problem solving. Because that's the biggest thing. A lot of stuff, programming and coding wise, you're gonna get really vague specs, depending on where you are, and you need to like condense those specs down into something actionable that you can then translate into code that a computer and other people can understand. Does that make sense? Cool, cool. Yeah, all the other stuff is helpful, like everything you can possibly know about HTML or CSS or JavaScript or Ruby. But a lot of it is like just translating the vague problems into actionable items. Ooh, just pass. Probably won't help that you're a horrible typer. You know, if the coding thing sticks, become a much better typer. I was definitely like a hunt and peck type person, and after about a year of coding, learning to code, I could touch type pretty easily. And even still, a couple of my programmer buddies are still kind of hunt and peck type people, so it's fun. Perfect, perfect. Fingers just go everywhere. I love it. Okay, good. And commit. Uh, Management. Naive. Place. set. Ooh, like a guitar player? Under the head, behind the head, under the legs, or like this type in. Alright, let's see how they did it. They map over the array. Okay, that's where they create the hash. It's not equal to -1. Add it to the hash map, that's what I did, right? Oh, just added each item. And why? Huh. Oh, no, the craziness is good. This is fun. Ah. Huh. Alright, I need to add a new test to this. Sorted array 3. I think, no, it actually just doesn't matter. Even if I have no idea what I'm doing, it's good to at least enjoy the journey. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There will be hard times, but you've got to enjoy it. Yeah, so this is interesting. They're mapping over the array, and they're only adding it to the hash map if it's not equal to -1. But I don't think that matters, because if -1 exists, yeah, I'm not so sure that matters, because there's not a -1 index. Am I making a catch for that somewhere else? No, I don't think so. I just don't think it matters. Yep, cool. So this is the same way I was doing it. Oh, there's a fourth one. Swap elements in array. Right, so there's a fourth one. Using a hash set. Okay, cool. Iterate to the elements in an array. Array I is greater than or equal to 0. I. Okay, let's see if I can do this. We'll call it swap elements. Make a test for it. An array is a list of things, and those things can be other variables, They can be like text or letters. Yeah. They can, in some languages, they can even be different functions and methods. Yeah, so if you see the code I've got here between these square brackets, that I have highlighted, I think you can see it highlighted. Yeah. It's just a list of numbers, and I'm sorting those numbers. Most languages, the arrays have indexes, and the indexes are a number identifying its position in the array. So the first number would be at index 0, second number would be at index 1 on till the... Oh, yeah, you got it. Yeah, not the extra 0, but you got it, exactly. Yeah, so if you see here where I'm doing things like the array that's being passed into this method, it's using these square brackets with a variable name inside of it. That variable name is that index, so it would be like array of index 0 at index 0, and then at index 1 at index 2. Just loosely know concepts so far? Yeah, that's good. That's good. It's a great start. Alright, iterate through elements in an array. Put array index at. Study every. I think I can learn if it. Just study every day and then practice doing stuff with code and no project. Just see what happens. Yeah, projects with a goal are super helpful, even if it's something as simple as just like getting a web page up. Yeah, messing with code is always good. I like to do things like, oh gosh, what are they called? Codewars.com? Yeah, this is it. So there's all these like coding challenge websites. I've been using a different one recently, but this one's really cool. I used it in the past to learn JavaScript. You can sign up, and there's a bunch of katas, and you just solve all these little like coding puzzles. The other one I used was the one I've been using recently. Is binary search. And yeah, this is cool because you can like go into rooms with other people and solve the same problems at the same times on a timer. And see like who wins. You can use different languages. Yeah, those are both really cool. I'm just going to copy the instructions over to the code. Going to make it easier for me to do this. Okay, so I iterate through elements in the array. I'll go to index. Okay. It's greater than or equal to 0. You can tell how green I am at knowing what's available. Oh, hey, you got to start somewhere. So feel free to ask for any resources or anything. It's totally okay not knowing what's available. Index. Yeah. YouTube is super helpful. Yeah. I've spent a lot of time watching YouTube videos, figuring out how to do stuff. I don't think just this will work. That's how the instructions read, but I don't think that's right. Okay. Yeah, so it swaps some of them, but it does not swap all of them. Today I figured Twitch was like YouTube but interactive. Is it built to be? Yeah, I think that's true. I started checking Twitch out a few months ago, and it felt much more comfortable is the word I'm thinking of, but that's not the word I want to use. Much more laid back. Yeah, that's the phrase I'm looking for. You can just drop in with somebody and chat with them as they're working or playing games. To where YouTube feels much more rigid, so to speak. Maybe polished. Maybe polished is a better word. The whatever the right panel is over there of all the recommendations does get a bit overwhelming. Let's see how they're doing it. What is this craziness? Okay, that's confusing. This is better. Okay. Oh, so they're just literally doing the flip-flop. Flip-flop of what? Close. Ooh, nice. So it worked on the first one, but not on this one. It missed a few. Right. So rate item. Oh, I wonder if this is getting weird. I bet it is. So I had this problem the other day. Oh, nope. Huh. So let's look at some other ones. That I don't understand. Link. It's greater than 0. Alright, I not equal I. Let's make sure I have that right. It's greater than 0. Now let's just do. Get rid of all that item. Feminist. Okay, so that's not the problem. Oh. This is what's happening. Okay, cool. I need to do this while loop. Oh. How many lines of code are the Ninja web apps using to work? What's the most lines of code in the biggest app? Oh gosh, the biggest app that I work on has over 10,000, tens of thousands of lines of code. I don't know off the top of my head. But I've done really simple, like one-page websites and a few hundred lines of code, and a lot of that's boilerplate stuff. So just like code you'll always need, not even specific to that website. Cool. I think that will do it. No? Undefined. Oh, right, because I didn't use I. I used index. And I didn't return my array. Yeah, got it to work. That's awesome. Yeah, this one isn't so bad. It only works because the index doesn't progress when you go back through the loop. That's what I couldn't wrap my head around with the instructions at first. So Rails is like an application of code that you use with Ruby. Is that how a framework works? Yeah, I think on a high level that's how it works. Rails is a framework for Ruby. It's written in Ruby. It is Ruby code. The way that I think of things like Rails for Ruby and then React or Vue for JavaScript is it gives you a bunch, so for Rails specifically, it gives you a bunch of Ruby code that's already pre-written for you that you can just use without having to write that code yourself. Does that make sense? And a lot of that pre-written code that you get with Ruby on Rails or Vue is a lot of the more complicated stuff. Okay, cool. Folders. Folders of code. Oh, yeah. That's a good way to think of it. I haven't thought of it as like folders of code that you get, but that is true. That's usually put in some package directory. For JavaScript, it's the node modules. Yeah, it's folders and files. Yeah. You got it. No need to excuse it. It's all good. Your your terminology was more accurate. I was using jargon, code slang, if you will. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. Add a comment here. Just learned a bit about Bootstrap existing. I'm new to this framework concept. See, it's kind of like C++. I'm not too familiar with C++'s relationship to C, but I think that makes sense. Yeah, it's just a bunch of like helpers to make using it easier. Could be, could be. We all could just be crazy. There's a lot of different frameworks you have no knowledge of. Yeah, that's okay. Same here. The majority of frameworks that I've heard of are just that, frameworks I've heard of. I've played around with a few that are in languages that I know, but not much past that. Did some HTML, CSS, C++ when I was younger. Oh, cool. That's helpful. Some of the logic definitely translates over. HTML and CSS have changed a lot if it's been more than a few years. In an array or string, the task is to reverse the array or string. Okay. It's pretty good at it. And have a good memory in all subjects, I figure. Oh yeah, yeah. Then you should have no problem. No problem at all getting back into it. Oh, I already did this. Yeah, I can do it again. If I've done it, I know it should be easy. Ooh, and they did mention iterative, so I assume there's a recursive way. It's just reverse, and star will equal 0. Ending will equal link +1. And while I want to be in school for computer science, other computer courses, but I guess I'll wait till 2022 is over now. Oh gosh, yeah, I know. Such is the pandemic life. But we make the best of it. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm doing this. I had looked into schools and whatnot and a couple other things, and this seemed to be the best thing to keep me motivated. You see others posting comments, they say I spent 5K to learn this at school. Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is free. True, and very condensed. I do think there are some advantages to school. Definitely helps with the discipline. It takes a lot of discipline to do this at home on your own type thing. That being said, I did not go to school for computer science. I learned on YouTube and then on the job. You mean like going on Twitch when I should be learning? No. Feel free to work on stuff while you're chatting here too. That's totally okay. And feel free to talk about what you're working on. Nice. Observational learning. Perfect. Okay, I think this will reverse it. So we start the array, start at 0, ending at array.length -1. and the loop runs while start is less than ending. Set a temp variable to start, and then assign position value at position ending to position start, and then assign temp to position ending, increment start by 1, decrement ending by 1. Should be good. Let's write a test for it.
Yeah.
It's cool because you're doing what I want to learn to do. See, everybody's saying it's good to have other like-minded people around in coding. Yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah, one of my buddies was applying for jobs recently and going over a bunch of data structures and algorithms type stuff, and he's who inspired me to start learning this stuff again. So, totally agree. And that was part of my hope of streaming on Twitch, is to find folks that were interested like you, so that you can help keep me motivated. No pressure, of course, no pressure. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it. And I just realized you could have meant that for Twitch as a whole, so it's okay too. I'm glad you enjoy that too. I'll run this test again. Cool. So my reverse iterative works. Let's see. I wonder if it'll work if I just pass it a string. I think it will. I'm big into streams are mostly just a show, but I do watch some. I like watching streamers that do. It takes time. Congrats for the chatters. Yeah, I agree. I enjoy the ones that the streamers talk to the chatters. I tried watching one that had like, oh gosh, I don't know, something like 10,000 people in chat, and I couldn't even keep up with it. Chat was just streaming by. Folks on Twitch were just doing their own thing. It definitely wasn't as much fun. Imagine if you had 1,000 of me though. Yeah. Fun chaos though. Fun chaos. Everybody asking me to fix their coding problems. I haven't reached that point yet. Nice. Looks like that does work for Ruby. Yep, that's exactly what I did. The recursive way. Oh, I see how they're doing it recursively. Okay. Dash recurse. Recurse. Zero. Ooh, I don't know if I can do this. That'll be fun to try. I'm gonna make, yeah, I'm gonna do that here. I don't know how to make on the fly functions and methods in Ruby. Oh, that's what I'll do. No, I'll just make it this one now. Start. And then I want to do temp equals array. Start. Array start equals array. Enter. And then array Z. Step. I don't hear much of any accent in the US of A. Yep, I am in the US. I'm on the east coast of the US. Array start +1 ending. Oh, nice. Nice. Yep. Yeah, I had some buddies that did some skiing up there. Well, it's been years now, but yeah, had some buddies that used to trek up there and go skiing. I'd like for this just to be past the array, but I don't think there's any way around it for recursive. Could make another wrapper method, but I don't want to do that. Okay, I think that'll work. Test. Broken. Oh, no, I just got it recurse. Easy change 2 and 4. Do we need to change arguments given? This will be 0. Gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I probably forgot to return the array. Oh, it didn't swap them, huh? Start of less than ending. This needs to be. It starts with greater than or equal to ending. No? Oh gosh, I messed it up. What's the logic? You on a Mac? Yep, I'm on a Mac. Mostly because that's what work gives me. My preference for dev machine is Ubuntu or Linux, though that has its own set of issues. But I have done I've got a Windows machine that I use for gaming, and I set it up using Windows Subsystem for Linux, and it's pretty good. Especially if you use VS Code, you can get some extensions that make everything pretty easy. I want to learn Linux? Yeah, Linux is a lot of fun. I never moved past things like Ubuntu or Mint. There's some people back in the day obsessed with Linux. Yeah, yeah, I've run into a handful of those Linux fanatics, so to speak. I liked Ubuntu and some of the more GUI friendly versions. What's that basement looks like? Basements look like pictures of first computers. Oh, yeah, the Linux fanatics. Yeah, exactly. Real computer science dudes. What? Yeah, that's what I thought. The big flash of red was me setting off an infinite loop. Alright, let me look at this. Actually, look at this. My interest for coding came back after watching people making things for Twitch streams. Yeah. Yeah, so people like making chat overlays and stuff like that. And Nutty, who is a streamer, they do all sorts of effects. Lyle Ranboard, is that his Twitch handle? Oh, it's a program. All right. Ran. Oh, is it for Streamlabs? Oh, this is cool. Yeah, I'll check that out. Looks awesome. When you said Nutty is on Twitch, let's see if I can find them. Sweet, sweet. Both on YouTube and Twitch. I'll check them out. Cool. Nutty shows tutorials on how to implement stuff on stream. Okay. This stream is basically people to come and talk about. Oh, nice, nice. Sounds like fun. What is running it one more time? Aha. OBS used to freak me out. One stream he told me I had to push boundaries. What it can do. Oh, nice. So you stream too? Yeah, I mean, that was me for the past year or so. I'd set everything up on OBS and get about that far. But my OBS setup is super simple. It's nothing crazy. Try to remember who Maddie's famous name is. It does wild effects. I assume that's wild, that no one else can do. Yeah, nice. It is wild. Huh. Okay. It immediately starts throwing mills into this one. Oh, that's why. Because I did this poorly. That's supposed to be 3. Yeah, if you think of it, 90's favorite streamer, let me know. I'll check it out too. Or them out. Probably a person. Okay. So I think that's right. I don't know why I have to do this n minus 1. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see. Well, they just handled it at the beginning. That makes sense. So call it anyway. Yeah, I think I should do that. But that's what the logic made sense to me originally. Make sure my tests. I find that watching other streamers is great for learning what you want to try to yourself. Yeah, I agree with that. That makes sense to me. I've watched some other coders on Twitch and like Haskell and Zig and some of these other languages. They seem cool, but not something that I necessarily want to learn. At least not right now. Yeah, I guess that's the approach that I took from your first statement, teaching you what you don't want to know. How's that? Cool. Ooh, not sure if you're super familiar with it, but one thing that I spent a lot of time on early that has helped out tenfold over the years is getting pretty familiar with Git on the command line. There's a command line tool that you can use to interface with GitHub called Git. And that's how you can interact with Git repositories. So Git repositories are hosted on GitHub. Yeah, just Git, G-I-T. And that's what I'm using right now to, like, I type git status, it shows what files have changed and which ones aren't added to the commit yet. I can git add them and then check the status again, and I've added them. They're now staged. And then I can do git commit, and it brings up Vim. But you don't have to use Vim. You can do git commit -m. Oop, that was bad. Yeah. Yep, it's for versioning. It's for like branching and versioning the code base. A lot of IDEs and text editors have it built in, so maybe it's not as useful now, but I like using it from the command line. Okay. Is this Notepad++? This that I'm using right now is the terminal, so the command line built into the Mac. So it would be similar to like Git Bash on Windows. Oh, that I'm coding in? No, this is VS Code, Visual Studio Code. And it's a free program you can get from Microsoft. There's a bunch of other really good ones, but this is what I like. Oh, sweet. Okay. I think I'm done here. All right. Let's see. Elements. Elements at even positions are greater than all elements before it, and elements at odd positions are less than all before it. Four, two, one, 5, 6, 8, 8. Oh, so it doesn't actually matter what this is. Doesn't matter what the value is. You're just sorting by index. Well, it kind of matters what the value is, but let's see. It's getting pretty late for me. Gonna start wrapping up. I'm not gonna start on this yet. View of edit. All right. Naive. Stranger in the Night. Thanks again for the file, and thanks so much for the conversation. It was really good talking to you. I'm just gonna wrap up here, type some stuff up in the README, and then that'll be it. Just wanted to say thank you. Yeah, of course, of course. Much appreciated for the combo. Yeah, indeed, it was really good. I agree. No, the distraction was good. The distraction was good. Oh, I'm already in here. All right, hash set swap elements. Did I have the right link? Cool. Okay. That's it. Thanks again for tuning in during the night. Have a good rest of your evening.